Danny Brown recently released his highly anticipated album Stardust to decently mixed reviews. If you've been following this album's rollout, then you would know that there's been some interesting yet really annoying discourse about it. This discourse stems from the tracklist and its features. I completely understand being concerned when first seeing this, realizing that there's only 2 songs on here without some sort of feature. This might not seem like a good thing, but as somebody who knows most of these artists, this got me really excited for the album. Because I could at least tell that Danny was trying to go in a different direction than he previously had, and I love when artists switch up their sound to try something different and new. But all of that doesn't really matter in the end, because the real question is if Danny really pulled off this more electronic sound. And I think if you didn't expect him to perform well here, then you don't have enough faith in Danny Brown. He is super impressive when it comes to rapping on different instrumentals, and he did not disappoint here. Book of Daniel opens the album as a note to where Danny is in his life and how he feels, with the album being the first album he's made completely sober. You can definitely tell he's a lot happier with himself on here. After the opening, we lead into the 2 singles on the album, Starburst and Copycats featuring underscores. Starburst is my favorite song in the album. I don't know if that's controversial or not, but Danny has some of my favorite verses on the album and the beat is genuinely perfect. I do understand not being too into it though, as it's a bit crazy and definitely took some getting used to. The song also ends with Angel from Frost Children reading some poetry or something. They appear some more on the album, and I just now learned that they were the ones who were talking, so my mind is kind of blown. The second single is Copycats featuring underscores, which is probably my second favorite song on the album. If you've been paying attention, Underscores is one of my favorite artists of all time, so I was so excited to listen to this track, and it did not disappoint. The beat and chorus is genuinely so catchy, I can't stop coming back to it. Danny absolutely stuns on here as well. I'm telling you, he fits with any instrumental he's put on. I'm pretty sure this song actually pushed Underscores to 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify for the first time too, so that's neat. The album continues with one of the most controversial tracks, 1999 featuring, not because of the lyrics, but because of the sound, which I completely understand, as I was surprised when I heard this beat at first as well, but I have to say, this song is absolutely incredible for me. The beat is top tier to me personally, and I'm not going to pretend everybody can think that it is, because that's just unreasonable. But I really don't like people saying that it's horrible and that's all that it can be, because everybody has their own taste. Even if you make the worst song in the world, there's going to be somebody out there that falls in love with it. And I feel like the huge amount of people fell in love with this song. And maybe if you're open-minded enough, you can admit that it's kind of impressive what he can do on here. The screaming vocals also make this song for me. They're really impressive and make the whole thing feel grand. The next song is Flowers featuring 8485, which is kind of a simpler pop song. I love the beat, and the verses and the chorus with 8485 is really nice to listen to. There's not really much to say about that one, and that's not a bad thing, of course. It's a really fun song that I'm going to be coming back to. The next song is Lift You Up, which is the second and last song on the album without a feature on it. I really love this song. The song is another basic poppy song with a really catchy sample and instrumental. This song is easily approachable along with the last one, as they're nowhere near as experimental or weird as Starburst or 1999. I don't know where I got this phrase from, but this is such a mall beat. Does that make sense? This is like mall music but with Danny Brown on it, and I kind of adore that. Angel also comes back to talk about some essence maxing, and yeah, sure, go off I guess. The next track is Green Light featuring the Frost Children, and this song is pretty good, but it's probably my least favorite on the album. But my least favorite song still being great is a huge compliment for the album itself. The beat is good, and I don't know, I guess I'm just not very interested in this song. I am not going to go into the lyrical content of the song, even though that's the most to talk about here. I'm just not up to the task, but you're more than welcome to look at it yourself. The next song is What You See featuring Quadeka. This is the last time he's featured, but not the last time he produces on the album. The production is absolutely insane on the song. Quadeka does an amazing job on here with his singing and production. Danny also sings with his quote-unquote normal voice for a second, and I didn't even realize it was him. The stuff Danny talks about on here is actually so emotional and inspiring. He's really improved himself, and I think that's clear on this song. Everything sounds so sincere and impactful. I love how this album doesn't stick with a certain sound. A great example is going from the weirdness of Starburst to the poppy anthem of Copycats and back to the bad insane instrumentation on 1999. This song kinda switches the sound up after a string of poppier songs. If you're familiar with Quedeca's beats, you should know what I mean. Especially when after this song we get Baby featuring Underscores. Danny kinda sings on here and I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if he did before on this album and I just wasn't paying attention, but I particularly notice here because once again he's talking in his quote-unquote normal voice. This is simply another catchy song that could be a hit. It's definitely not as good as Copycats, but the bar is unbelievably high. I love the weird bell thing that gets distorted. I really love details like that and it stands out so much for me. Underscores went so unbelievably hard for this album and I will always be an Underscores fangirl, so I guess I'm a bit biased. The next song is another somewhat controversial one because everybody hates his Brokey for some reason. Even though personally, I've never minded her. I haven't been like a huge fan of a lot of her music, but I think she's pretty entertaining and can rap really good. This song is amazing to me though. The beat regresses back into the weird experimental stuff with these metal bar noises that make you feel like you're in a construction site. And this weird whistling thing, I have no idea what's going on here and I understand if it's too funky for you. But I absolutely love this instrumental and I'm gonna be honest here, I think Brokey absolutely destroyed this beat. She goes so damn hard here and it hypes me up every time I hear it. Her verses are also so inspiring too, and I don't know why, I just love her vibe. Don't listen to the haters, this song is outstanding in all hype moments and aura. Why did I write that? If you love controversial features, either from bigotry or just general annoyance, you'll really enjoy I Love My Life featuring Femtanol. Femtanol is an artist that I really enjoy, but everybody's always hating on her for some reason. When will people realize they can dislike music without personally attacking the artist? Bro, I hate Twitter so much sometimes. Once again, ignore the losers online and enjoy this song because I absolutely adore this track. The instrumental is so intense and the drums are incredible. I didn't even know there was a chorus from Femtanol in here because it was so drowned out in the mix, but that somehow works in its favor on this song. It's so chaotic, it makes me feel like I'm falling asleep. It hits that energy when instead of being loud and abrasive and keeping you awake, it's loud and abrasive, but it all blends together to make this smooth but chaotic sound, and I feel like the chorus adds to that effect. I love how the lyrics aren't even on Spotify, because the chorus is too hard to hear. I had to look on Genius to confirm that words were even being spoken. To be clear though, this is all a compliment, and I adore this song so much. The next song is Right From Wrong, featuring Namdi. I don't know how to pronounce it. If I'm completely wrong, please leave me alone. Honestly, I completely slept on this song for my first few listens. It's grown on me dramatically and I really love it now. I love the hook and how it's slightly deeper than the rest of the track. I doubt that's the right term, but you know what I mean. The beat is super good here and I think the performances really make this track. Really good song with a really good feature. The second to last track on this album is the almost 9-minute long monster that is The End, featuring okay, I'm gonna absolutely butcher these names. Ta Ukrainka Ziena Ziheni and Synthony. I'm literally so sorry about that. Besides the fact that I have no idea who these people were before this song is straight up a masterpiece. This song sounds like a video game boss theme at the start. The way the relaxing Bro, are we kidding me? The way the relaxing piano is over the crazy drums is super impactful. The chorus is also in Ukrainian, so that's really unique. I don't know if I've ever heard Ukrainian before this song actually. The beat switches a few times as you would expect from a song this long, but every time it switches it never gets worse. It stays consistently amazing and impactful. This song is so great, man. Angel comes back on the last few minutes with his giant speech and it's kinda wonderful. This part of the song is also produced by Quedeca. The End is such a solid song and I feel like it's gonna be a staple in his discography. It's so impressive and memorable. Now we arrive at the closing track featuring Jane Remover. I know myself and others were really excited for this song as Jane fans, so it was kinda surprised when it came out and Jane didn't say a single word on it. This song also samples Twice Removed from Revenge Seekers, so I saw many people complain that this was just a different version of that song, where Jane doesn't even speak. And I totally hear these people out, but now I've listened to this a few times, I really think this song is outstanding. While the beat is similar to Twice Removed, it's also completely different in the fact that it's so relaxing and emotional, giving Danny way to pour his heart out in the conclusion of such an important album in his career. Danny talks about how he's lucky to have made it through the things he once struggled with, saying how not everybody has been as lucky as he has. Danny is really blessed to be where he is, and it's really nice to hear him acknowledge that. This is such an impactful song and really is a perfect ending to this album. Even if it was kind of surprising because this song was not how we were expecting it to sound for the most part, but now that I'm used to it, this is outstanding in every way. This album did not disappoint. I was extremely excited for this to release, and I'm so happy with what we got. There is no skips in sight on here. If there is a moral to the story or whatever, it's just to not hate. Be kind to artists, and even if stuff isn't for you, that doesn't mean you can go around trashing it. This album isn't for everybody, but it's something to look up to, I think. By the way, this video was supposed to be a short at first and not a full video, so if it's a bit different, that's because this wasn't supposed to be a full video. I just had a lot of stuff to say about this album because I just really like it. Subscribe to me, by the way.